The reason it worked, my son used to be an attorney general of the state of Delaware.
This is Beau Biden, Joe Biden's son, that passed away in 2015. He was the 44th Attorney General of Delaware. Okay, this is the community policing that he was referring to earlier. Check these groups out here, FBI InfraGard. You can go to infraguard.org. Just look that up, see who they partner with, who they have contracts with. There are 400 of the Fortune 500 corporations that have InfraGard contracts, and there are many, many more other compartmentalized groups that take part in this, but that's going to take a little bit of research on your part.
The idea is you get the police, you get the law enforcement together with the community so they know one another.
Okay, I'm going to explain to you basically what he's talking about here. The DHS scam and human trafficking of innocent citizens. When the Iron Curtain, communism, fell in 1989, Congress began slashing intelligence and military budgets that meant falling profits for the military-industrial complex and the loss of intelligence bigwigs' immeasurable power and prestige, their private kingdoms. Hence, it would appear the intelligence community and the military-industrial complex that they were in bed with decided that a new enemy had to be created to feed the war machine and to make sure the well never ran dry. An endless war was declared on secret terrorists from a well of unending targets. Regular, unsuspecting citizens of the world secretly declared terrorists without proof or even minimal probable cause. An elaborate ruse was connected with the 9/11 false flag insider job, originally planned for the 1990s, but delayed by opposition that failed to out the seditionists who intended the event to be the catalyst for enacting emergency homeland security laws that by and large began the wholesale subversion of the U.S. Constitution outright, but also expanded the attack on it through the purposeful, secret misinterpretations of the laws by the same intelligence community that planned and executed 9/11. When President Bush declared that the U.S. reserved the right to murder terrorists anywhere, unbeknownst to law-abiding citizens everywhere, he really meant them. It is estimated that there are 500,000 completely innocent Americans on the terrorist watch list now. Housewives, teachers, nurses, bus drivers, local and federal workers, especially whistleblowers, etc., etc. Wholly unsuspecting innocents secretly declared terrorists in order to secretly strip them of their constitutional, civil, and human rights. Since terrorists can be killed, the military-industrial complex has set up an elaborate matrix of selling kill contracts on these now legally, in quotes, not because it's not legal, non-citizen humans. They are now subject to being targeted by vicious slander campaigns to isolate and tarnish their reputations, even to local police who are ordered to withhold equal protection under the law to outright harass them. Organized stalking harassment. Fusion Center-led Neighborhood Watch, aka Neighborhood Nazis, militarized mercenaries slander, stalk, and harass these enemies of the state 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on shifts and for under-the-table remuneration. Tax dollars used to slaughter. Targets and neighbors are hit with gases, poison, directed energy weapons, both ionizing and non-ionizing, sonic weapons, as used in Cuba in the summer and fall of 2017, and are secretly implanted with sophisticated chips, medical chips, that can be activated remotely to induce cancer, intolerable burning sensations, cell damage, reproduce or induce symptoms of very serious diseases, or the disease syndrome damage itself, even to lethality. Often the target is on an untouchables list where medical professionals are ordered by DHS and their psychopaths to not provide proper treatment to them or to provide false diagnosis of wellness to cover up the crime of consistent physical assault and its damage. Medically inexplicable unless the person is telling the truth, and also to further the false narrative that viciously targeted innocent person is a hypochondriac or paranoid schizophrenic person with delusions to create yet another impediment to proper legal and constitutional help. This false mental health attack also can be used to falsely imprison a person in a mental health facility, which are being bought up by the side of DHS, registered as a for-profit entity, in order to milk the person's health insurance for thousands upon thousands of dollars, while having access to the victim for yet more unwanted and unneeded Dr. Mengele infamous Nazi torture and murder style medical experiments. So in essence, with an insidiously wicked legal sleight of hand, DHS is farming innocent people by secretly, falsely labeling them as terrorists based on nothing at all, to sell access to their bodies to predatory military contractors, medical companies, universities, and other, if need, human test subjects, non-consensual human experimentation, for their monstrous products, weapons, devices, while the military-industrial complex carries out an unending, invisible war on more and more innocent citizens, with the help of other citizens whose consciousnesses, humanity, and patriotism can be bought for little to nothing in comparison to